To further corroborate your bullish scenario or theory here, take a look at the Holbert Index on Market Watch. He has a very interesting perspective on the pundits out there who follow this precious metals market closely. And generally speaking, en masse, they get it wrong. For instance, the last time we ran up towards 1,000, I believe he said 69 to 74% bullish pundits. Of course, it failed. This time around, James, 29%. There's no one out there that's bullish. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, all my friends are bullish. All the listeners of this show, they're always bullish. There's a lot of perma-bulls in this crowd. But the majority of folks have been burned too many times during that 18-month consolidation. But if we use that as a contrarian indicator, very positive sign.
Yeah, there's another contrarian indicator out there that got me quite excited. Everybody's making a big deal about the explosion in open interest on the COMEX and these record short positions by the commercials, in other words, by the gold cartel. And, that's keeping a lot of people on the sidelines. But if you stop to look at it logically and not emotionally, you have to expect that the open interest is going to blow up to record levels because the gold cartel is going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, to keep gold under $1,000 an ounce. Because once gold goes over 1,000, the gold cartel is going to basically, gold cartel is basically going to lose control. So I'm not really worried. I am worried because there are always things to worry about. But the fact that everybody is making such a big deal about this big explosion in open interest, I see that as a contrary indicator and expect that the open interest is going to continue to rise as gold moves over 1,000 and continues higher from here.
If we check out many of these other markets, such as equities and crude oil for that matter, almost any market around the globe that suffered through the 2008 credit crisis unwinding, if you will. Precious metals, particularly gold, held up phenomenally well. In fact, from my perspective, it's the only bullish market I can find, the only major bullish market I can find. I mean, bonds for a while were still bullish, but that's come to a close. Stocks, sure, we've had a bounce here. Still, the long-term trend now is sideways to down. But gold remains on the monthly chart and even in the weekly chart firmly entrenched in a solid uptrend. Wouldn't you agree that at the end of the day should be what gives investors in the yellow metal a sound night's sleep?
Yeah, that's one half of the equation. I put a lot of faith into technical analysis, and, I've been telling people that the gold chart is a thing of beauty, and I think we're going to just see how beautiful it is over the next 2 or 3 months as gold, goes a lot higher. But the other half of the analysis is fundamental analysis. And you just look at what central banks around the world are doing to their national currencies. It's no wonder that gold and silver are in big bull markets. And given the fact that central banks don't seem or aren't giving any indication that they're going to change their ways or do what Paul Volcker did when he was heading up the Federal Reserve back in 1979 and 1980 and just keep raising interest rates to defend the dollar, you have to assume that the purchasing power of national currencies is going to decline, and that the best way to protect yourself against that is to own gold and silver.
I'd also add that we've never seen interest rates basically at zero for such a long period of time. It brings up memories of Japan's, 0 to quarter point interest rate situation for a decade or more, and their lost generation and their housing market that's still trying to recover. The Fed chairman doesn't have the luxury of keeping interest rates low forever. The pot is boiling, and at some point we have an explosion of higher prices that you talked about earlier, and that's certainly going to show up in commodities.
Yeah, I agree with you. And those higher prices, we might be starting to see those in the next few days with regard to gold and silver.
Looking at the chart, you'd think that the next stop would be in the 12 to 1300 area on the yellow metal if we can stay above the four-digit point.
Anything's possible on the upside, given the problems with the dollar. But my strategy is still the same one that I've been talking about all decade long. Every month, month in, month out, you save gold, you save silver, you're saving sound money. So you just develop a dollar cost accumulation plan. Some months you're going to be buying at lower prices, some months you're going to be buying at higher prices, relative to where it had been over the past, few weeks or so. But in the long run, you're going to do very, very well. It's the same strategy I've been following all decade long. It still makes sense because gold is still very undervalued and the dollar is still very overvalued.
One of the regular questions that we receive here is about gold money. Folks want to know some more details about it and some of the benefits.
We are storing about $700 million of gold, well, over that now, actually, $700 million of gold and silver for our customers. You have the option of storing your gold and silver and platinum now, too, Chris. We've added platinum in vaults in either London or in Zurich. We're a European-based company operating in Europe. Not only are we safe and secure because everything is audited, and those audits are available to our customers upon request, but our rates are very, very competitive. So I think find gold money to be one of the most economical ways to buy physical metal, and that's a key point. When you buy physical metal, there are only two ways to do it. You buy it and you store it in yourself, or you buy it and have someone store it for you, which is what we do in gold money. If you choose the second option, make sure that the governance procedures are in place like we have, and that you have audits and all the things to make sure you have the assurances of integrity that your gold and silver and platinum are safe, because you don't want to take chances.
Well, James, we appreciate you taking valuable time out of your day here and wish you the best of luck house searching.
Thank you very much, Chris.